Hello, everyone. Kelly here, and welcome where we learn to master the mirror. And wanted to share with you, this came up in my coaching session this week with my awesome coach from Twin Flames Universe. And we're talking about the mirror exercise. And I wanted to share because, there's this idea that the twin flame journey has to be hard and difficult, and don't get me wrong, it's definitely has its moments, it definitely has its challenges when you're diving into the inner workings of your soul, right? Like it can be very challenging to uproot all the misaligned beliefs that you have about love, that you have about life, and that you have about what is your role within it. And so that's why they talk about surrender. That's why they talk about letting go, releasing doubt, all of these powerful things that move us along and help us to our divine destiny. And so, I just want to share that in our community, we have 34 harmonious unions. And, we're not talking about unions that come together and like explode and blow apart. We're talking about unions that come together, and marriages are happening, and people are having children if they want them, and really finding a solid foundation based on spiritual practice and spiritual work. So they're not just coming together haphazardly and being able to stay together because of anything outside of themselves. They're able to stay together because of the consciousness within them, right? And so, it's like you cannot, like Albert Einstein said, I forget the exact words he spoke, but you cannot solve a problem from the same consciousness that it was created. So if you're in separation or you're not communicating in a peaceful way, then there's just a way that we need to heal the consciousness so that you can align with your divine union, with yourself and the divine, and with your twin flame. So okay, so I'm going to share an excerpt from Jeff and Shalia's book, Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover. So this is for anyone really desiring their perfect divine partner. And this book really is the roadmap that all of our coaches at Twin Flames Universe use to get you into harmony with your twin flame. And, I won't sugarcoat it. The process it can take time. It can take patience. It takes a lot of healing and a lot of inner work. Some people are able to come together sooner than others, based on their consciousness and based on how much work they've already done before they get to the journey. So yours can look completely different than everyone else's, but just know that it can be healed. And the more that you doubt your union, the more your twin flame will doubt the possibility as well, because you share the same consciousness. The oneness is very, very real. Okay. And so anyway, so we're going to go into this book. Okay. So the mirror exercise, where we're learning to master our mirror, right? The mirror exercise works because your eternal life is always a reflection of all levels of your consciousness, which is created by the core choices inside your mind. What you're choosing on the inside of yourself is what is being created on the outside of yourself. That's the result of the truth of the law of attraction. As within, so without. Even the Bible talks about this. These annoyances or upsets are annoyances or upsets inside of you. You're automatically creating on the outside, which is being reflected back to you from inside yourself. Okay, these annoyances or upsets are annoyances or upsets inside of you. You're automatically creating on the outside, which is being reflected back to you from inside yourself. And so I will share with you, as a parent, my daughter is a really great indicator of where my consciousness is. And we've gone, so I left a very emotionally abusive marriage back in 2015. And when I left, I remember my daughter that summer, we had left, and she was just badgering me. She was being so rude and so mean to me. And I remember asking her, like, why are you treating me this way? Why are you, and she goes, because that's how you're treated. That was her answer. And all of a sudden, where my consciousness was at that time was like, oh, she learned that from my ex-husband, because that's how I was treated, but poorly. But the truth is based on this work, I've learned to treat myself very well. I've learned to uncover the blocks that have kept me from loving myself, that have kept me from honoring myself, that have kept me in financial situations and cycles that really kept me struggling. And I thought if I could just heal my finances, that everything would be fine. But the truth is I've had to go in and heal all the places that I haven't been kind, that I haven't been loving, that I haven't been honoring myself, that I haven't been setting boundaries in my life in order to heal my relationship with my daughter. And it's super cool now, because my life with my daughter is more and more peaceful as I continue on my journey. For instance, last night even, my daughter was like jumping on the bed, and she was just being super hyper, and just, if I'll be real honest here, she's like really annoying me. And my natural inclination still as a parent is to correct her outside of myself. But something in me said, no, she's reflecting something in you, Kelly. So just go within. And so I did. I went in within myself, and I looked at all the places where I'm annoying myself. Where am I annoyed and upset at myself? And I just brought love there. I just brought in my own self-love, divine love. It's all the same. I just breathed into my heart, into those spaces and places that I was feeling annoyed at myself. And automatically, my daughter calmed down. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so just know that we can continue to heal our families and heal based on what the work that we do in our own lives. And so, the so within, so without is absolutely true. Everything that is in your life is a direct reflection of the consciousness that you're working on. And the truth is that the upsets that we have with ourselves and with the divine, it's really learning to align to our highest and best, and really learning to be a vessel for humanity, being a vessel for the divine to work through us to help us on our path and our journey. And so I just wanted to encourage you all to get support with that. If you don't, I grow so much faster and so much more efficiently with my coach and this community, because they're constantly pointing me back to doing my inner work. And sometimes I even get upset with the work itself because I don't see the results fast enough. But that's where my own consciousness is in the way, where I'm not willing to do the work. And I feel limited and stuck only because I'm limited in how I'm actually doing my inner work and sharing the work, because it's not enough just to do the work for myself, because now that I'm beginning to create a beautiful, peaceful life for myself and my daughter, I also need to be able to share it with you so that you can create the divine life that you've always wanted. And we're really stepping into a time where we're really being able to create our heaven on earth. And the only reason we're seeing so much drama in the world right now is so that we can go inside, so that we can go in and heal those things that are unhealed. Yeah, so let's, I'm going to pull a card. I love pulling cards, so this will be fun. I have a new deck. This is Queen of the Moon Oracle, which I love, by Stacey DeMarco. And let's just, I'm going to shuffle the cards, and let's just get a couple of cards, whatever wants to come out here. And yeah, let's just get a little, see what Spirit wants to speak through us today. And that's really good. I'm just going to take this first one, or first two, because they're stuck together. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so this is gratitude. Yeah, can you see that? Sorry, I know there's a little bit of a glare. Yeah, I love that. So it's two people holding hands. It's like the moon is, it's like a crescent moon, last quarter moon, and a divine woman. Looks like she's in a garden. Yeah. All right. So gratitude. Yeah. So where in your life can you have more gratitude? You know, I see a lot of people in the community and in forums, you know, really upset that they're on their twin flame journey. And really, they're just upset because they have this expectation that they're going to be able to just come together effortlessly and easily. And the truth is that, you know, soulmate relationships, this is how we view this in our community. Soulmate is anyone who is not your twin flame, who's there to help you grow, bring you lessons, things like that, but not your ultimate lover. And you know, soulmate connections are designed to help you grow, but those relationships, you know, can come together fairly easily, right? But when you look at, you know, when you look at the twin flame dynamic, when you look at all the Disney movies, you know, all the twin flame movies out there that you see, there are challenges. And you know, if you look at, you know, Beauty and the Beast, if you look at Aladdin, if you look at The Notebook, right? And she was engaged to someone else, and then, you know, her twin flame popped up, right? And there were challenges that she had to work through to be able to release her what we call a soulmate, or, you know, karmic person. And so, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, well, if it's meant to be, it will be. Well, this is true. But when you look at desire, when you look at your soul's desire, your will aligns with divine will. So if you have a desire in your heart, it's God's desire to give it to you as well. And so it's about removing the blocks to believing that you can have it. And if you have a belief that your twin flame is better off with someone else, well, they're going to reflect that opinion because it's in your consciousness and reflect it back to you. But as soon as you make a new choice, you're going to make different decisions based on that new consciousness. And so a lot of times our blocks to love is actually believing that we can have our one true love. And the truth is, you can absolutely have it if you choose it, if you desire it. And you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be challenges, because this, you know, having our consciousness embedded with beliefs that don't align with true love is a block to actually having it. And you know, I come from a family with a lot of divorce, and I've actually been through 2 divorces. So, you know, that was in my consciousness. And so after my last divorce, I just said, okay, enough is enough. I keep messing this up, Lord. Just show me the way to my divine counterpart. Surely God hasn't forgotten me. And because I had this belief that God hadn't forgotten me and that I could have true love, that's what brought me into this journey. So I'm really grateful that God partnered with me in this way. And so if you're in pain and you're in suffering right now, just know that God is reaching out his hand saying, no, here, you can have it. And this video is a reflection of the choice within you that believes that you can have your union. And if you were to get a reading from someone that says that you, or from a psychic that you can't have your union, that's a part of your consciousness that also believes that you can't have your union. So just know that consciousness can be healed, but it's within you, right? It's within you, or you wouldn't be manifesting it on the outside of you. And so yeah, I just want to encourage you to continue to dive into your consciousness and discover where are you not being grateful to the divine for guiding you in the way in the way that spirit is moving you, so that you can walk into your divine destiny, because your divine destiny is yours alone. No one can threaten your destiny, because yours is yours alone. There may be blocks to getting the destiny and having the life that you dream of and life that you want. But just know that you can have the divine destiny that you desire and completely create it, because as a divine being, you get to create your destiny. That's where the free will comes into play, is that you get to choose it, decide it, and create it. So be grateful for your choice. Oh, and I want to share a powerful example of choice. So a friend of mine who's also on her twin flame journey, about 5 years ago, I was living downtown in Denver, and I didn't have a close friend at that time. And I was just really calling in a close, kindred spirit friendship. And so my friend, popped into my experience, and, she was in a emotionally abusive relationship that she felt trapped in, that she couldn't leave. And I was as well. And I was able to get out of it about 5 years ago. I just took a leap of faith and just left, and just was like, oh Lord, I hope I can fly. And I've flown. It's been amazing. But and so I called my friend up this January, and I said, hey, it's or last January, it was 2019. I was like, hey, it's been 5 years since this year's my 5-year anniversary of leaving my ex, and she was still with hers, and she'd been wanting to leave. But, he was even, when he would go out of town, he would even have people would follow her and stuff. She was even being stalked by people to make sure that she wouldn't leave. And so genuinely, she did not feel safe to leave, right? And so, but somewhere inside of her, we talked about her being sovereign. She's a sovereign divine being, and she claimed her sovereignty. And literally a month later, her partner decided that she was the problem and kicked her out. And so it didn't feel good for her to be left and kicked out of this relationship. But the truth is that she is a divine being, and no one has the power to keep her hostage. And she claimed that. And keep in mind, she was with this person for 10 years. For 10 years, she was with this person and has 2 children and wanted to leave and couldn't. Literally, her consciousness wouldn't allow her to leave. But as soon as she decided she was a divine, sovereign being, God came in and told this man that she was the problem, and he kicked her out, and so now she's free. So the truth is that we are free no matter what your circumstance, no matter what you're dealing with. The truth is that you are sovereign, divine, and free. And you can have gratitude and solidarity knowing that you have your freedom. And look at this. She's in a garden. And so she's being able to create her life how she chooses and how she wants because she's a divine being. And so, yeah. All right, let's see what's hiding behind card. Ooh, I love this one. Okay, so this is protection. Wow. You can't write this stuff, people. Like, really. Divine protection. And so the truth is that no matter where you are on your journey, you are completely protected. God is always honoring your choices. So no matter what you choose in life, you are protected and you should choose it. And I'll share my experience. I run a ballet school, and Spirit gifted me a new space for my studio. The yoga studio closed, and I was able to take it over. So a beautiful, like, turnkey space that was actually super affordable, even though it was really, like, out of my price range. It was super affordable. And I'd been asking Spirit for a space. I'd been looking, actually, but without any luck. And so I was quite surprised when the yoga studio closed. But I didn't really feel like I had the resources I didn't have the foundation with my students and families. For one, because I only had a few hours a week there that I was able to rent because there were so many yoga classes. So anyway, I was able to open up my schedule, and I started driving Uber to make up the difference in my clientele. And I was terrified to drive Uber because I'm just like a single woman, and what are the chances of me being completely safe? But what I did is I just claimed my safety, and I chose it, and God kept me safe. And I will say there were some times that I did feel a little bit unsafe, but all I did is I called on Spirit, I claimed my safety, and I wasn't harmed. And there were definitely a couple times where I felt a little bit uncomfortable, and I would like I would turn the music off, I'd like stand in my power, and you are always divinely protected, but you have to choose it. You have to honor yourself and choose that safety and protection. And I was able to get rid of that part-time but full-time job back in July. And it's been a powerful transition to my life. So just know, even if you have to, make decisions in your life that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone, just know that you are divinely protected. I don't endorse, single ladies driving for Uber, but I will say that, do what Spirit is calling you to do to create the life that you want. Just make sure that it's coming from a place of divine, and not, ego. So really follow God's guidance, because the truth is I could have found another way to be safe, but that's the way I chose, and I claimed my safety. So really tune into yourself and see if God has another way, because I certainly could have found another way, but I don't know. So anyway, but just know that whatever your choices are, you are divinely protected, but you have to choose it. You have to choose it and believe that you are divinely protected, and you absolutely will be. So, all right, you guys, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Stay grateful, stay protected, and just choose the divine life that you really desire, because you can have it. All right. Be well, live well, love well. See you soon.